posing for the cameras and...
What? I didn't know that.
Oh, guys, you don't remember this?
How long ago was this?
It's like pre-COVID.
I never had a clue.
Pre-COVID. I think
he's still in prison?
Yeah, we can check that out.
But I mean, what would you have cancelled? Pitch Black Afro.
I think...
At that particular moment in time.
I think also that was the thing.
At that juncture in our lives, what would we have been cancelling?
I think that was into ebantwini ba okay, as benefit so qama no qama up. Akaziwa nokwaziwa mhlambi at that time because
akukhona zanayo ngaphambili.
I didn't know that you guys don't know this thing.
I don't know that. Uyayibona land.
Shame man, Pitch Black Afro.
May he find healing in prison.
And then
or correction.
How the fuck is he gonna find healing in prison?
Well, I don't know. It's a correctional, facility. They correct your behavior.
But they don't.
May he be corrected.
They don't. Most people that go to prison end up
they come back incorrect.
And they end up going back to prison because it's not necessarily a place of rehab. It's not a place of correction. It's a place of punishment, and people don't get a lot of healing from being punished.
So
our brains don't work like that.
So he was sentenced to 5 years in jail for the murder of his wife.
Yeah, ne. But ndiyafuna ke ngoku sithethe ngalento yase correctional services because ke bendikade ndingumahambi wase-Royal yaqonda ndiyoperforma phaa ndiyobulisa sisters baye guys ni-right sithandazela uba niphinde nibuye uyabo ngoku xa nisithi akucorrectwa kuyapanishwa. But I do think that the systems are created for correction. The official systems are created for correction, man. But ke ngoku the underground life yabo the yabona iyapanisha yona. Otherwise akusekho la way mos akutywa papa ingenaswekile type vibe.
But I mean in the sense yokuba lethu noba kuthiwa i-still lifestyle for lack of a better word ne, even if your lifestyle as a prison is not as bad like akutywa ntwetheni ulala ebhedini right and ushushu, but the environment yakhona doesn't set you up to do better xa ubuya.
I think also it kind of sets you up for your resilience. That's the place where you must decide what you truly want in the midst of everything else that's happening. Are you going to use the facilities that are created for your correction to your benefit? Are you going to go to the social workers so that you can are you going to use the education in provision? Are you going to play the sports? Are you going to take part in debating?
This person, let's look at it from the sense yokuba a lot of people that find themselves in the streets have some type of mental illness or like some type of trauma, whatever, right? All these things that you are mentioning are available outside. And these people were not able to do those things because of whatever is happening in their head that we don't know. Why do we assume that as soon as they are locked in a cell, that doesn't work with how your brain is calibrated in general? How do we assume then now all of a sudden they just gonna think, oh no, actually let me play sports and just be a better person?
Kaloku enye into ebana uhlele lokishini zonke izinto zikhona ewe but azikho in your face. Uyandifumana? There, that's the difference. They brought closer to you the things that could correct your behavior and your ways. Zilapha phambi kwakho for the choosing. Kanti elokishini ubana ngabuza associateile namagenge benibukela enye way yamataliyane namavakos locos fatos locos asekapa uyibalela way tenhlanga jayazi the boys the hectic omnyabalisa basamhlaba ulapho luhlatyiweyo kubalisa ngaye yabo omnye uthi ba ayaqala mandimsave bona indlela nayisoka shem caba lo umsave kwamataliyana lo usave lo dibethenqa ke mna ke ikhe yaqala yandiconfuse lanto ba uyazi introduce I am Mikey Phoebe, I'm an Italian, that's called identity crisis. Say mama kade ba okay abanye ngamafatos locos. In fact they are not Italian, ngamataliyana they're supposed but Italian. So that's what I think when asamzamba bemelba noko it's they are in closer proximity than they are right now. Yabon? Because payana zilapha phambi kwabo. There is a way to check in with people. But do you want social work services? Do you want to see a psychologist? Doni. Every other time, say checkisha ba imenjani, awuna TB, awuna HIV, awuna. So the services are much closer to them.
But do you understand? But even the language we use around ezizinto kuba city, xa ngamuntu eboshwa, we don't consider ukuba they're going to change their perspective or whatever. City sibasusa from the community because they are not good enough to be around us. So siyomvalela. And that's why when people come out, they just come out from ekuvalelweni and go back to whatever, because bayovalelwa, they don't really, I don't think a lot is done to
all of the time.
But majority
I don't think it's the case all the time. I mean, I've got an older brother who was in prison and he's doing really well for himself.
But his dad's
came back corrected.
But a lot of people that go to prison, especially from a young age, they end up going back to prison.
But it's wrong, guys. Now, how would you have it done? Because also, when we look at the prison system, then we'll have to go to inception. Yeah. It was never meant to correct. It was meant to punish. This is where it be corner in society, even indlela eyenziwayo. And then now we space a situation where we don't say now police force, we say police service, because now each charge office become a community center where people can go. If uhlala apha eDwesi, umzekelo, or Motherwell, New Bright, wherever, you have a meeting that you want to conduct with stakeholders, but awunayo indawo in a boardroom. A police station has a boardroom, zonke police stations. So therefore, uyakwazi ukuya ku superintendent, uye kuye and ucele ixesha elithile so that you can be able to utilize that. He send. So there are hopes. It's like we're getting into New South Africa. It's 94, land of possibilities, and then you get kuyo ufumaniseke ba kukho abantu abathile ababenefitayo. So kufikwe kwatshintshwa igama, but then there was already filth and rot ekhona that is still continuing. There are many chances of you coming back worse than you were when you went in. So yonke laa nto inida wena ube ne-character strong so that you can see what works for you and how you can move out of the way. Because we've seen abantu, we've heard stories where people went in and came back bengakhange bathathe ezaa nombolo zakhona. Uyabona?
So the question remains, how would you have it?
Have it done.
I don't necessarily have a solution, but I think my issue starts when I put Akimpagla and Awosuka Kuyo Yoguba, even from, never mind the prison part of it, the police force part of it. It almost feels like it's a protection of izinto more than the people. And if you look at what we see criminals as, it's people that affect the bottom line of businesses and like amasela, people that do izinto ezichaphazela imali more than abantu abenza izinto that are not human, like your rapes and your killings and your so I feel like,
but I think I differ because I mean things like rape, murder don't really affect businesses, they affect real people.
But you have more people that are thieves in jail than people that are there for rape, like specifically, don't you think?
I can't think. Perhaps we might be looking at it again, we might be trying to argue one side, but actually, if we were to look deeper into how the system really works, we might learn something different from le positions to see things from. That's why I said I can't think. Maybe I wanted to say I don't want to think, but I think I want to say mhlawumbi kuyafuneka sifumane umuntu oyihead ku-correctional services so that we can understand how the system really works. What is the intention for separating ujustice, no police, no correctional services? Because you would want to think if ungumuntu nje layman, they should be one department with different directorates. But why were they separated? There's an intention that I don't know.
Job creation.
Yeah, and I'm putting inga into even further that we could learn from, and Aban Bepondo could also learn from. Speaking of which, greet the people.
We didn't even.
God damn it! Yes, but then could be show some what?
And we on there to black. Much to the annoyance of the director. It's like what the fuck? Can we talk about that? Thank you very much. Welcome to another epic edition of Ephondweni Podcast. This is a special one. I am Yakim. I am Yakim. I am not flying solo. I'm with the certified gatekeeper.
Let's get it to get out now. To make the gate and to get out. Salutations.
Yeah.
The name is Poetic Soul, the official gatekeeper, so they say. It's so nice. It is so nice to take an insult and turn it into something fun and funny. Shame, man. I hope la putura itoka la CC, la ghost account, igrand. They gave us something to work with. Thank you so much. Imo fulama.
Get.
Imo fulama. Get. Cha.
Exists.
I don't care.
I don't know.
I don't care.
So what's the quotation this week? That week it was the process.
It was trust the process without knowing what the outcome will be. Then it was familiarity breeds contempt.
Yes.
What was it today again? Cleanliness is next to pathology. That's what it was. Cleanliness is next to pathology.
Because people say profound stuff and things isn't cool, you know? Like yesterday, someone said, listen to this. Listen carefully now.
Listen carefully now.
The next time I see someone drowning,
What?
I won't alert the lifeguards. Seeking intervention on behalf of another is not always the noble thing to do. This morning I learned. Also, I relate.
Oh, guys, take him out. Get out. He's not following the script for one. He's just not here with us. Facebook accounts is going to exist here. Director.
So what was happening, man?
It's life, man. You just learn, you know?
Come on, post.
Yeah, I know it's those things where you try to help and then you put me now like what really? So when I go drown, ufuna ndithini? Ndikwaze wena ndithi, hey, ndiyakubona ukwazi uqupha. Rather than call the lifeguards to come and save you because you are actually afraid that the lifeguards are going to realize that you can't swim. You are drowning because you can't. God damn it. Yeah, shame, man.
Oh, yeah.
Sadly, but it's life. We learn.
I read that thing. I was like, hey, I wonder what's going on here. Who's drowning now? Kaloku his way. So I'm like, uzame uqupha engakwazi. Guys. Sorry. Main thing is, the first thing is, Umalema spoke, bros. Umalema spoke. Umalema uthi abasixeleli into bekusuppose bayasixelela zona. Akuzobakho stage 10, but we are going to a complete darkness. Darkness that could last 2 weeks. It would like 4 days.
In the next 2 weeks,
but I'll tell you, next 2 weeks, 4 days. Engayiveki, engayinyanga.
Guys, Umalema, kaloku.
And Umalema uyazazi izinto esingazaziyo thina.
And ndiyamthanda Umalema. Ngokuqha undoyikisela, I was scared. I was shit scared. Like, what the fuck? Is out one way? Ukubona ucinga How like we can't work with a full 24 hours without electricity. What's gonna happen when we don't have electricity for the whole day? Like the realization that even a man's way to control. Oh my God! Oh, he told us too much. Yes, life in. Wenzela nto malema bona sowufika ku relationship so sithi hayi ndandinayo la ntombazane pha le hayi yathe yathi nalo wa ndandinayo ubale bayi-15 abantu balo kodwa usakulita mna malima wenze loo nto qonda uyoyika. That was scary, guys. Khanoyike nina.
Okay, look,
Hayi, guys, I was scared.
with politicians for me is yonke into abayithethayo ndisoloko
Pinch of salt.
yeah ngenxa yento yoba bayakwazi udriver i-narratives ezingekho sincere nezi-true and correct ngenxa yento yoba befuna ukuwinela kubo. I know our situation is dire because ndibone uRamakgopa eme kwenye into exelela ii-technicians uba mna ndiyi-civil engineer andiyazi le way yenzeka apha nina ndixeleleni ukuba makwenziwe ntoni na laa mntu bekuthiwe makayolitisha.
Yeah, well, but also, I mean, he is a political official, political head. And most of the time, they don't really know anything about the department of Banganakuyo, right?
But then why
they?
don't we employ the same strategies Kambeki, Mandela, where if she was an actual doctor.
But that was like one out of how many?
Then that's why I look for big funnel by yeah compulsory. But Klamba betwa ilando bati freedom now, education later. And then later was 20 years late. Njani?
Pitch black. I've got freedom now, education later. I don't know that.
Look, when there were boycotts and whatnot, during la era of Prakusta, there was slogans after 76 in the freedom now, education later.
Sure.
So wonke umfana ose exabisweni loba angakwazi ukulwa phakathi umbayimbayi none-conviction noba wela into yoba sikhululeke makaphathe umbayimbayi angene yena nsikeni angene fielding. So I think we have a long way to go with le nansika i-loadshedding i-reality esizawuphila nayo. Yes, there are other countries that are suffering the same thing, but I think indlela bona abaye badilishane ngayo sinabantu who are practically working bane kuthiwa into le foresight basebenza ngendlela yoba okay jonga ngoku i-country yethu ishota ngento ethile nento ethile nento ethile, so let's check uba kwi-future singathini. Umzekelo Brazil, because benalewe cane sugar and whatnot eninzi, so then they experimented on something yoba mabenze i-biofuel yabo, so bathi bangazisustain fully, in fact bayasustain nge-bio oil, but then umhlaba banawo abakwazi uba banga-supply the whole world.
What basustain ngantoni? Nge-bio oil?
Not kaloku la bio oil nansuku hayi kaloku man kuthiwa into ndizathi biofuel man nditsho kaloku yi-oil.
Utshilo neza man say-bio oil. Bio oil yenza way. Ilani duru kaka.
Now uzayifaka esibaneni next.
Okay, right.
Hey, bio oil hectic. No.
Yeah, very
I
hectic.
get you though.
Very hectic. So so that's what they're doing. Tina asina plan.
Yeah, asina plan yani.
Kwakuthiwa eCape Town nengxaki namanzi kwakhona umfana ekuthiwa enengxaki unaye uze naye le solution, and the next thing that guy was dead. You don't remember this?
It was a conspiracy, Dave. I feel a conspiracy coming.
No, I'm not coming with any Nansika conspiracy, but do you remember that thing? You don't remember?
I'm worried. You know, Jang Muteta death, Yalomfana, ne? I've got one question running in my head. Do you think Andre Director is going to live for long?
I don't think so.
Nah.
I don't think so. Urilise incwadi, ithini la ncwadi yakhe gama layo? Ithini zamani?
Truth to Power?
Truth to Power.
Is it Truth to Power?
Yeah.
Isn't that the first one?
What's the second one then?
This the book that was leaked, PDF
No,
one.
I'll tell you
Sex
now.
tape. Eh?
Sex tape. So the only thing that can be linked is a sex tape. My God.
Which one look producer with content producer?
Likishilo njenge-sex tape.
I mean, the
We
Kardashian
don't
of
know,
it all.
we don't know the title of the book.
But iku-PDF.
Eh,
Kanimthumeleleni guys abanayo.
Akuthiwa uyabanjwa umuntu.
Suka wethu bazayibona phi?
bazobanjwa.
Bazawubanjwa phi? Suka wethu. You mean to tell me that wena xa uhlala apha ecango wam undiblututhele incwadi okanye masingathi noyiWhatsApp uyibluetuthe? Kuza kanto?
Yeah. Zininzi into azirevilileyo. Like ezinto zoba into land Eskom.
Niyivile la transportation of fake fuel. Or fake transportation of fuel. Get 100
million.
My God.
2 different plans.
In knee caps or knee guards.
Yeah, knee caps.
1.5.
Yeah, you see, 150.
What?
Zona. Yeah, but a pair were purchased for 80K.
Anna guys.
I don't think man is giving at bayapambana man abantu ba bele corruption.
And then kuthiwa there were rooms at was it at Eskom that were just filled with money.
Yeah. I don't see it here.
Hey, guys, you gotta wait. Ndisenale gwala futhi lately uyangiqosa?
No, but
Snacks.
la way man ingathi kungabinangqondo. Like I kungathi kusayilona man. How do you take into 150 uthi 80,000?
But zangiqale kulando, was it the funeral? Kamandela, or was it an inauguration ceremony where champagne glasses were going at like 50,000 for hire? And like a ridiculous amount like that. We are higher like glass. Benzalo your higher glasses and now when man might be 5 rand glass. The most expensive must have been 8 rands or 10 rands. As a bend is down. Bona pie parliament kokuthetha ngoma 5,000 or 50,000.
Those
like
glasses,
a ridiculous amount.
How much did you pay? Because the other ones were 5 rand. The other one was gonna be 10 rand?
Yeah, probably
per
something
glass.
like that.
Ngiyanisitha ababantu bona into yabayenza ngayo indlela benza ngayo benza ngathi bona banangqondo man.
Lana ungasubani bakufonela ba niboxuba nenhloni. Yes.
Uandile Lungisa wathi kuza uNansik uRK.
Hey, uRK kana? Oh yes, it was RK go Andile.
And RK zangafiki.
Sanga yema nexoxa khwathi for land.
Hayi wasuswa qapha kulandawo. Wayenguntontoni weNYTA.
Then kokuthe ngenaphi zasidibana apha ezantu wayecawusebenzisa imali se-NYTA.
I think so. Mhlawumbe kaloku yabhalwa pha social cohesion. Yeah. Job creation.
Bawo.
But
the corruption is hectic. It's in language, yeah. There's a way you can chow the monies.
Yeah, you must just say social
Social cohesion.
Yes. If uchilo, then you get the money. You must write landi paliweyo pa.
Don't. Like I don't understand why go transport fake transportation of fuel. What is that? Kangeyenzeke at all.
Dude, ngoku kwakufunyenwe amalahle nje kuthiwa hayi ngomalahle man la.
Indon.
Kuziswa amalahle wrong. Kwa Eskom se receive you. So babethwe ngaba bantu bebedeliverisha. So akho QC ba.
Hey. Guys, and ke ngoku ingxaki yam siya singene ebumnyameni. Deeper and deeper into ubumnyama. Kuyo yonke le nto yenzekayo. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's really affecting a lot of people. Well, it's affecting all of us. Yes. Because you can't keep a generator on for 24 hours. It's meant to be a form of intervention.
Yes.
Is Bedlela going to be affected?
They already are.
Yeah. How many?
17 and a?
Yeah.
76.
Only 76.
Out of 200.
Yeah.
Yeah. So almost 125 as Fumanened.
Yeah.
And it's only now that
and those are probably public hospitals.
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
It's only now that they're talking about in hospitals, police stations should not be affected by load shedding.
But even then, I think there was a petition, ABCT, if that happens, then the grid is going to collapse. Like they can't even afford that.
And we,
he did a roundtable discussion on load shedding, and he was interviewing 3 engineers
okay.
who might have, a better know-how. Why are we here? And I mean, they're tracing it back to 1991. Then, the infrastructure, Ekoyo, was meant to benefit a few because it was really feeding more white people and whatnot. Then when we got, freedom in inverted commas, then government grid without really paying attention to the capacity of grid. Yeah. And so the story just goes on and they try to explain it to us. But what I realized from that, I just read the comments as well. The comments were like, yeah, and then some people are still going to vote, they're going to vote ANC after all of this. And others are like, so what's the alternative?
Yes.
But what would you rather we vote for? I'd love to vote. I don't vote because I don't know who to vote for. Like that kind of conversation that's just ongoing. We can see where our problems begin and possibly may end. But it's like, what's the way forward? Yeah, because uyawuze athethe umalima athethe izinto ezibhadlileyo yabona ngobomi beSouth Africa iphela. But there will be these people that will say, Khwada, there's Jacob Zuma ngegama lefani, yabona angathi Mr. Qala okanye the honorable. So it shift a focus from what he just said to what he didn't say or how he said what he said. And we miss out on the wealth of knowledge mhlambi azanayo. Yabo, andithi ke uzanayo ndithi mhlambi azanayo. So what I'm trying to say is we people are lost and bayayazi futhi ba seriously way. Yabona lana. And kukhona la barrel ithethwa about the poor people will still vote ANC. Then kuthethwa ba sine classism ke ngoku. Hey man, guys, it's complicated because it's not just about electricity. Did you get what I'm saying? Yes, kumnyama ezweni ne. Hey buhle. Kumnyama ezweni, right? Ngoma ka buhle itsho kan iyeva ke.
Okay.
Kumnyama ezweni. Yes. I just had to give credit.
So funny.
Yes, because the credit is due. So we know that kumnyama, right? But we also are aware that the fact that kumnyama, ripple effect yayo, is so much bigger than ubumnyama belizwe. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, guys, employment is affected, business is affected, our social lives are affected.
Yeah.
Yes.
School is affected because umntana ubuya na homework ufuneka search ku internet. They can't. Uthi malima asizoba network yefone asizoba namanzi guys sizawuthini
And amanzi kaloku we already there we say amanzi honestly amanzi is already because benteta no Dr. Holtzman a few days ago uhlale Summer Strand and he was telling me kuba vase enanzikene Vascomin.
Oh man.
Yeah, welcome to hell.
In Summer Strand. in Summer Strand, he's paying for this water, he's paying for electricity. It's just not
It's
there.
just not working out. Though.
It's just not working out.
Don't you think the recent rains would ease up?
I'm sorry for laughing. No.
Jojo tank.
Unless in a Jojo tank. But I heard something, okay, I've never lived in the suburbs, but I heard someone saying, Pofu uti yena kwe yakhe isababa I think in Pretoria, you were not allowed to have a Jojo tank in your house to collect rainwater for yourself.
Hayi ngoku iphelile yaphela lo air. Kuthiwa abantu bangacollecta mali. Iphelile asisekho lapho. People are buying Jojo tanks.
Pretoria is a very strange place.
I think kwakudala ngoku akathethi kwakudala.
No, but recently bekunini
Kuthiwa abantu bangabi ne Jojo tanks.
ngoku ukho la bhuti phaa belimile. kodwa wasuwa ecourt ngabantu because ulima i-veg.
Beyilime phi?
Kaloku ulime i-veg iyadi yonke nakulaa ndawo ubane ngapha ngaphandle walima phaa i-veg and uyoyile kuthiwa mangalimi i-veg.
Kuthiwa
Kuthiwa abahlali. This guy was in court. Awusikhumbula esa story? This guy was in and out of court ngenxa yento yoba ulime i-veg apha kuye eyadini nakwizipeyisi ezikhoyo phaa ngaphandle.
Because kaloku uduri kutya uzothini lo man?
Kuthiwa mangalimi kodwa.
Toyo farming area leya.
Le nto ndisithi Pretoria.
So in agricultural space.
Uthi uMayor Retief Ottendal. I'm going to read his thing. I'm so excited, ecstatic. I'm so ecstatic, I can hardly contain myself. Groendal Dam, I hope that's how it's said, has increased 69.25%, up from 16.9% on the 12th of May. Lorry Balancing Dam is also standing at 101.39%. These are two of our smaller dams, so it definitely does not mean we are out of the woods insofar as the drought is concerned. The bigger dams have been following increase compared to 12 May. Gucha 15.74% from 14.29. Churchill 26.09 from 24. And the decommissioned Impofu 6.83 from 6.79. We're expecting some further inflow, but our total dam levels increased to 16.82%, up from 13.03% also on the 12th of May.
Nice.
It's a true case of new levels, new devils, hey? Because the water levels have risen, but the devil on the other side of that is all the people that were displaced as a result of the floods. We celebrate that, there's a little bit of an increase in terms of the water levels in the dams, but we'll also cry with those that had to,
We also must check the areas. Man. I don't wanna, because there's also irreason to izinto. Yeah, and also awufuni to come across as umntu or insensitive. I believe abantu kwezinye indawo baye basuswa besuselwa izizathu. But sinale way sinayo ngoku. Yonke indawo siyibona i-open field siyibonela ibobosi. Siyibonela umjondolo.
Don't want to pay rent. Because that's expensive as well. Because
sorry, ma'am.
Sorry, I mean, if uzokwakha ibobosi, that means usebenza endaweni where i-transport yakho takes from le mali oyithathiweyo, imali yokutya. By the time you get to rent, ufana noba usebenzela ukuya emsebenzini. So ndizofuna uyokwakha ibobosi kaloku so that I can make something work now.
But then, shouldn't we check ezindawo sakha kuzo? Umzekelo, abantu abaninzi abakhileyo emva kwamasiphathisane ngabantu abaphume emakwabo apha bayozakhela phaa. Because ngoku abantu abakha ibobosi eBhayi ulakhela into yoba akwazi ufumana abe in line for RDP house. Because kukho abantu ababhalisayo kwezi list ekudala babhalisa kuthiwa xa kuthethwa xa befika kumasipala umntu ozawujongwa kuqala ngulo usebobosini than umntu obhalisileyo.
Yayibona ke ngokuba bazothini ke abantu ungawakha amabobosi and ezinye indawo bosi ezingekho kwi-area dangerous, obviously you're gonna have to pay money that they probably don't have.
Alright guys, now all I can say is that we need to check out ezinto. Singazifaka engxakini because izindlu ziyakhiwa and then basusiwe phaa. If awenzanga nto immediately uzawuphinda ufumane laa nto. So now we are fighting i-battle esingasoze siyiwine. Imisebenzi ayikho, this, that. But I think ekugqibeleni we need nathi uba ngabana sibe responsible okanye sizawujikeleza endaweni eyi-one. Uyabo?
And bazophinda babuyele. Ukuyibone apha xa usiza perseverance.
Yes.
Uzojika to the right towards Komaxaki okanye left towards Izwit.
Yeah.
Akuthiwa iSoweto onsila now. Ukuyibona ba it's very obvious ba naba abantu balapha ezantsi nangamabobosi. Every time kunetho kusaze kungaflat. But they always go back.
No, guys, we need to
Is
be
there an
honest.
alternative though?
Uphume kokwenu nje wahamba wayohlala pha kwibox.
Hey, speaking of amabosi, into lana ukuthokusa Soweto buye kuSoweto ndisi. Soweto enye le ndawo namabosi.
Hey, saw it.
Man, before ungene usuka ngase-town, I think that usuka from the Salamto side uzawungena eZwide ke ngoku.
Fair plus.
Khamabobosi pha a hot njani.
A hot,
Wena
Ayi.
ane-dish ze-DSTV.
a sexy.
Wethu ucango. Mamela. Gala akhavwayo. Hey,
Yeah, boy.
inesitupu. Mamela. Nikhe niyibonile experience nanga.
Ayikho indawo ngenabobusi.
Kuki upstairs. Hey, aniyala nendithithayo guys yabanihleka okanye
Manu ngeyiphi phanga kunakalani phanga kwa-toast.
ndimane ubutoast mna. Qha ndiyayala ndawo sasigqitha phana nobrother wam sibuka amabobosi siwabuke ba ma.
Oh, I see. Basuswa amanye.
Expensive because iduri zazihle.
Ilandawo benzele kuyo ekhaya session festival. Ekhaya session festival. Bazinceda ngento bona pha yoba benze park kufakwa swing kuthiweni ibiwe ukuze kungaphindi kwakhiwe.
Because mamela aye mahle amabosa pha.
Yeah, ayakakubaleka fa. Different colors.
And we born about listen, these people, then like uncomfortable lo mntu akaziniselanga. There's also no need ba makayohlala esamendeni. Asikho isidingo because right.
Yeah,
Uyayibona ba soze umnyango walendlu ube i-carved wood kanti ngaphakathi i-couch is cheap. Yeah. Nansi dish yalalaza. Akabikho dish ekhaya ngala xesha. Kanti dish yalalaza.
Ngxaki essential ayiphufa yogxaki ba-ambitious kakade abantu basemtshondolo. Awukhumbuli ngoku yapha e-KZN? E-KZN during
Lo
the...
i-couch.
Yeah, call a couch. Oh, mna nami waluthi i-couch ye-60K. Ayingeni bahleli la. Yebo, xa kufike ezivula kwanetha izawuphinde kubekho lo ngxaki yoba imoshakele yabona ingola hlobo. And also nento ye-drainage system, you know, xa kukhutshwa imali kwezinye indawo ufumaniseka uba makuclean i-drain bathi bona le mali should be redirected kwezinye izinto asinayo le kodwa kwabona bathatha izinto inkunkuma bayolahla phaa. But every week you have ezi-truck zihamba apha zithatha inkunkuma. So we must as citizens take responsibility of ezinye izinto ezenzekayo kwi-communities zethu.
I want to agree with you and say, yes, let's take responsibility. But iphinde ibe khona la nto xa sekwenzekile asithathi ngokungoli we must take responsibility. Sithetha ngaba ba-displaced bangenandawo zohlala yabona balahlekelwe into yonke.
Odendala beseMotherwell ephaya emjondolo uzawuthini bephithizela phaa bethi bapha emanzini bedibene bonke yabo bathatha abantu bayobafaka enantsikeni bayobafaka emaholweni bathini babaromolelo kakutya. Okay, masithi ke ngoku mosile mvula siyayifuna kakhulu kudala siyithandazela iyafika ngoku ukuba kunethe okoko kuzawuthwana.
Ithini la saying is serious. When you pray for the rain,
you must be prepared, for the mud.
That's what it is.
Because amanzi siyawafuna.
Asiwafuni mntanam siyawadinga.
Uyayibona la?
Not the mud? Is that how the saying goes? Yes. Wow.
No, man, it is mad, man. It is mad. Hayi bana, upetholoji bamtsapkisile la maphara man. Bathatha itep.
Zamana unayifumana la saying, when you pray for the rain.
Buyisani tep ka petholoji.
Because wow.
No,
but what I'm saying is, yes, I accept that there must be an element of responsibility over our lives. But also we must also on the other side of it accept the level of desperation that our people live under. The poverty as Pila Panskwayo, we must accept it as well as part of the reasons that cause people
deal with the mud.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Where's
sir.
the flood here?
There is no flood.
Oh no.
So, so I'm trying to say in a way, yabo. If una sijonge all these different levels, because for instance, we're gonna deal with ababe floods ngoko, right? We still have a situation as a Christian in Umban. It is terrible. Lando bayachoka, kuzawuthi kuthi. Yabona lana, there's a lot that people are doing in the name of desperation, and also at the same time, when you look at it carefully, uzawufumanisa uba also in the name of entitlement. Right? People feel entitled to these things. So we need to check. I think level of pride yethu as abantu abamnyama yehlile.
Kakhulu.
Yeah.
I think yehlile, and we need to find things that will restore our sense of pride
And dignity.
because I don't think that just because it's constitutionally promulgated izawuvele ifike kuthi la sense of
Promulgator mntana. Man, before uthi masiqale ishow ne. Kondo bendizayibuza, because you were talking about into there are people talking, but ingathi abavakali ngohlobo loba xa kusithiwa mabangavoteli i-ANC abantu bayabuza uba what is the alternative. So now is it a question of political parties that exist are unable to communicate effectively with our people? Is that what we are dealing with?
I think so. I think so. It's a matter of us not having that one voice that can convince us. But that's not right. Come nandikhe ndatsho mna ndathi mna guys, uba sinohlala phansi sidecide ba okay, i-ANC khayo siqhube right. Masiyeni ku-DA, masiyeni ku-EFF, masiyeni ku-UDM, like sipusheni loo nto i-one. Yabona lana? Sivumelaneni uba nali icebo lethu.
Yes.
Kungabhetere kunale nto siyenzayo ngoku, because ngoku singuqhusa kumanzi phansi siyatyibilika yobona siquphe lidakeni basically. Akho nto ibhetere siza nayo into esiyazi qha into uba siyifuna i-ANC, but when it comes to what we actually do want, we are not certain. And it means our political parties, the alternatives that are there, they're not doing enough to reach the people, to speak to the people and convince the people that this is who we are, this is what we're about.
Recently, PE College had elections. Yes, for SRC. And I feel those students were very decisive in Doba Bafunando na. Straightforward. So the elections was won by Student Command.
Sure.
So a central SRC, central SRC, EFF Student Command, 4 seats. ISASCO, 2 seats. It does or nothing. Klausia Dawa campus, Student Command, 3 seats. SASCO, 2. DASO, nothing. Ekaya, Student Command, 5 seats. SASCO and DASO, Buyanam Bandeskov. Russell Road campus, EFF, Student Command, 4. SASCO, 1. If this could translate to a national elections, I'm not saying vote EFF, but whatever party that we decide in Doba we're gonna rally with, because you see up on these results in Doba, these people knew what they want. So that means these students or these kids were able to articulate a standpoint sabo. That's how they got everyone.
Yeah, also kudala kwathiwa, look at the student vote at varsity level and you will see what the trend is. But I translate man kumkai ndimdidi nxa kumati.
Up in Nelson Mandela Bay, I translate. I translate for years. It has not been.
It's just not translating. But nyani na baban bavotele le komina but then for it means na xa siya ku elections sizayibona le trend. Nabeka kusathanga qimqapho quick kuvele kuwina obani, but we need to see nyani ba this is the movement right now, because I think sometimes also the student community, because it's again confined in that one space, and they have life yabo that's centered around iskolo at that time. They become more active, but xa bephuma the space esikuso sivuleke kakhulu, sometimes there's no time to even care. what the political direction of the country is.
Kaloku ulambile uzawuthini.
Yeah.
I think yiloo nto man. Yazi abantu bakudala they used to travel. Xa uBrakho sethetha uba obani baye exile. I don't think ubuya uyophangela uthi uyasave to go to exile. But somehow people were able to go to different spaces and they were able to travel around the country and they were able to sustain themselves. There are lessons that we need to draw from the movement kwela xesha nangoku. Perhaps the movement lisetyenziswayo lithina liqumrhu labantu abamhlophe. Yes, iqumrhu igroup.
What group is that?
La group ijoinwe nguNansika. Ngubani umfana une-religion yakhe.
Penuel.
Yes.
Ujoyine iqumrhu labelungu.
Man.
Elipho Stellenbosch.
Yes, what's that group? What's that? Man, what's that group? There's this group Melabona.
Is it AfriForum?
AfriForum, yes.
Ujoyine AfriForum.
Don't you need to be white to join that group?
No, you don't need to be white. Kokshiwa Sham. Like who I interview which are one of the leaders of AfriForum. Who was interviewing? Was it Mac G or was it Openuel? No, not DJ Spool. I don't quite remember. But he did mention that you don't need to be white. But also you don't.
Imagine 10 rands from every household, from every black household in the country.
AfriForum.
10 rands from every black household countrywide. How much money would we have? As black
guys,
people?
but what has AfriForum done for the sake of black people?
Nada. Nothing that I know of.
I swear, I thought the AfriForum is like exclusive. It's like Orania.
No, it is, but then you must speak the language.
But we're adding the numbers, as Openuel of this world. But Openuel is non-racial. Like it needs
Yeah.
Ininzi nangeyiyo guys angavuka yabo engengomfana.
Imagine guys, you can Penuel. Wait, you can Penuel. You can Penuel. Do you would Yakim know the story about the young guy who died mysteriously in Cape Town after solving Cape Town's water crisis? And then Kutwa Nkosinathi Nkomo was a South African student engineer who turned up dead after he found a solution to Cape Town's water crisis. Now a white inventor has shown up with almost the same idea.
Kuthiwa kaloku watsiba phezulu, watsiba ebuildingini phezulu eKapa after evele ezindabeni, after ethe uGrandnal away, and then decide to tsiba phaa phezulu. Yafiwe eKapa phaa phezulu.
Bampushile noba bampushe psychologically bampushile. Encinisa le case yalowa kwa KFC kani ibonele lamfana kwa KFC.
Nansika Roms.
Was that your friend?
Yeah. Sukumba kaloku xa uthetha le nto.
Uthena mayikwethu lo mhlawumbe.
Uyakumba xa uthetha le nto.
Ayivela wena. Ku ibenza ukwenza ikota xaba waya ka KFC wathi mabazi benza streetwise kota vibes yabona as part of their menu. That was in 2019. Now in 2023 KFC is introducing the kota as though it's their thing. I don't know, like Romeo Molepe. Yeah, he had asked people to share. Some people are not too sure
Deluxe.
If
he's a sangoma.
Right.
He used to do Inansika. He used to be a hip hop DJ. He tried his hand in house music. He says he designed the SABC One logo. When was it? I think a year ago, he had proposed a design for Imali Alapem South Africa a year or two ago. He's a busy guy. He has Sharpeville food festival.
Okay.
He also does,
festival.
I think he has also a Mpepo thing, Mpepo oil or something.
Okay.
So he's a busy guy.
Yeah, uyapha Facebook?
Well, not to Facebook, Nanzika.
Twitter.
Google.
He's a very smart guy.
Celebrity Sangoma accuses KFC of stealing his Gota idea.
Celebrity
Celebrity
World.
Sangoma. Sangoma zodumo.
Whoa.
Like,
uthini yeah ngumntu oligal
wait, legal. Qha ndiyimamelela wena.
Mm.
I just ndibonile ba Epic also was questioning it ba, well, Kota is not really an original idea. Ikota in itself might be difficult to prove. Perhaps he could have just gone to KFC in a suggestion, because how do you monetize into that already exists? Ikota.
Wasn't
But
at the
just
time,
KFC is doing the same thing, Jay.
But I'm
wasn't
just trying to say, the opinions that I saw. Yeah, but that's what Epic was saying. And then, what's her name now on Facebook? Maria Podesta.
Maria Podesta.
Yeah. She was laughing it off, like, no, bruh, you did not invent the streetwise what.
I think he way that people are misunderstanding what Rome's
Shouldn't we give you a mic so that you can get it through?
what Rome's
Yes. Izakwenza lokho la nto ba abantu bangayiva.
I fucking noise gate. Got therapy, I fucking noise
I
gate.
want to fuck that shit.
Yes, those are fucking noise gates. Ted.
What people don't understand is the guy is he creates ideas, right? And then he pitches them. When KFC does emails in every city, when the emails that in Cape Town when they get what so he was introducing we got what like that was 2019, right? But then people are caught up on the fact that it is not a concept yake. However, he came up with KFC, because you guys Europe they do whatever dish that ECT specializes on. You understand? Like in Durban, they get bunny chops. So I was saying, like in my city, this is and then people they just took the effect. They think that he's saying it's his invention. However,
I think I caught that as well. Yeah, well. So now I feel that there might be a case there.
There is a case. Definitely a case.
I feel
there.
that there might be a case there, in the sense that I mean, if it's got paperwork to prove that I booked a meeting with you guys, this is the idea that I presented, and now here it is.
I really hope it does.
And you guys are doing
it
it
does,
without me.
but IP doesn't have an IP, intellectual property, like he didn't.
There's this guy online or Kabai attorney. Uyayifuna la case. Uzayilandelela. I think we'll just wait and see.
I think honestly there is a case.
No, there's no case according to me, because without an IP, how the fuck? Because KFC can just say good court banner, we had this idea before he even came, but we're just looking for the perfect time to implement it. Then what?
Let's see how
they
it
must
unfolds.
also show paperwork. They must
Let's just see how
they
it
must have
unfolds.
meetings. They must show minutes from a meeting that we had. We
Talking about this,
and then we spoke about this thing. And ilapha. Guys, I'm just given a phone here. Mandela Bay Theatre 48 minutes ago. Temporary venue closure. I want to read this. I haven't read this, but it sounds interesting. Performing Arts Fraternity, Partners and Media, Venue Temporary Closure. The MBTC Council Management and staff are saddened to announce the temporary closure of MBTC theatres, namely the Opera House and the Band Theatre at the corner of John Kani and Winston Jonas Street, Central. We affectionately refer to the premise as the Corner Kaninchona building, or in short, CKN building, after suffering structural damage, especially the roof, which were exacerbated by the heavy rains. Okay. The CKN building will undergo much needed infrastructure maintenance and therefore will not be available for use until the 31st December 2023. If the time period changes, the public will be informed. In the meantime, we shall consider alternative ways and venues to implement our programs. An announcement will be made in June 2023. We remain committed to providing quality performing arts content, and your unwavering support is a source of inspiration. Yours in performing arts, Monde Ngonyama, CEO, MBTC. The end.
So I think we must just bring into perspective that when people see this, it would have been almost like a week or 2 weeks later. Yeah. I just wanted to say that.
Ibi renovate when in Nansek?
Just before it reopened.
MBTC.
Was it last year or in the past 2 or 3 years? I don't know.
So does it mean it was a shabby job?
No, man. It might mean that the roof was not part of it because it was floors and things like that. Might just mean it was an upgrade of the facilities of, like stages, yabona, toilets. Mhlambi roof was not a part of the deal because they said right, but well then, this is where we are. Okanye ibi budgeted for another time later in the year, and that's what it is. We honestly wouldn't know.
Okanye mhlambi kuba la Nansek, it was vandalized most during COVID.
It was. I was about to say, Kongo kuyifunda ndine feeling yoba this has to do with the state of the building. And highly likely it might have to do with things being stolen and whatnot, because those people did damage Amapar. They did a good job of damaging the space. So, yeah, again, we're talking about the floods, the rain, the effect, the new levels, new devils, the water levels are rising, but the building is falling apart as a result of. And it's going to take what? A whole 6 to 7 months of work to get it right again.
And
it's quite sad.
They had just called artists, and then I think there was a copy internships for abantu who are qualifying.
The program that Usamani was a part of. Mm-hmm. What's it called again? Incubator.
Incubator.
Yeah.
I wonder, inibeka picking ukunina lond.
I'm done kaloku. Graduate.
Unsika ngathi beyile naye.
Kubana Nsika?
Nsika.
Oh, beyile ne?
No briefing.
Beye ku briefing kaloku. I mean, I think it's quite sad.
Yeah, it is.
It's quite sad.
Because the whole year.
P.
I think that's the renovation project. It won awards. So in 2016, it was
Project Facts value 28 million. Client
28 million.
PE Opera House, location central, awards, first prize, stainless steel awards, 2016 architecture, building and construction category, SAIA Award of Merit, 2018 ECIA Regional Award, 2017. It was doing well.
The only thing that would make sense would be the vandalizer, because it doesn't make sense. But how are you winning awards and then you need maintenance a few years later?
It's 5 years later.
Come on, guys.
21, 22, 23 is actually 7 years later.
Still,
and I'm saying, we don't know what that renovation was focused on. We could be renovating my place, but we're looking at fixing, removing the carpets and putting wooden floors, and we don't look at the roof, because it's one of the things. We're looking more at the aesthetics.
8 million.
We must be factual. That's what I'm saying. Singer speculate more than anything. And a press release. Maybe we should call and inquire.
Okay.
Yeah, bo?
Do you think we put Mondangas?
Why not? I mean, it's a public building. It's a public institution.
We should
Can't
reach
sit
out.
test away your phone. Diane.
No.
We could have called just to ask him, Yabanaba, would you be willing to come and explain to us now what's going to happen to the programs and. Young Todd? Yeah.
Kanene Athenium yona ikaw.
It's a church now.
Fuck.
I mean, not permanently, but on Sundays, there's churching that happens. Also, on other days, you're rehearsing in this church practice.
Kaloku xa yenza laa nto. Once xa ungena.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
It's sad.
Busy.
Guys, it's sad. You see, panga kunansika, panga salamdu, like Klausia panga ku Love Child. Like ikhona I would say it was a complex yakhona, like in the 80s, like blocks of shops.
Oh, I see that.
They were converted to churches.
Yes.
So I'm coming
church
now,
complex now.
Bakhonza bonke at the same time.
Why not?
Church
complex.
There's another church, Kwindawu pa closer was Pingace. It's a church now. Say, hey, man, hey, House of Ntondo, Potter's House or something. I'm like, hey guys, hey, cancel and pina ndibona enye ba. Hi man, nalena in Tonton Outreach, Tonton Life Church. Naxa usenye ubright phaa kwezandawo zazingovusum zinentoni have been converted into churches. And the thing about churches,
it's the most viable business currently.
The thing about that business is that it does not contribute to the development of the country in the sense that you cannot tax it, but yona ifuna ukhongozela. You understand? With the money that flows khona, whether bazawuthi benza concert paphakathi or thina sikhupha izishumi siphinde ke ngosiphikisane ngemali esiyikhuphayo ngoba mfuna ukhupha imali kubonakale uyabo ba ndikhuphe imali eninzi because sandla siphayo. You understand? And all that money, what happens to that money? I would love that money comes and circulates kwakhona within Inansika community and society. Xa ndifika phaa endlini ndifike phaa kwabazalwane bazothatha imali kumama ipenshina, you know.
But in churches xa register as NPOs.
Yes.
And therefore they're tax exempt.
Guys.
Because kaloku what they're doing is community work. Angelo?
If we're gonna take, we cannot take all the factories and all the places that used to generate revenue and income and turn them into churches and go and pray so that our economy is resuscitated when all the factories esinazo nezinye indawo bezisetyenziswa for inansika economic activities prayer and worship places, guys.
But aren't they registered as NPOs?
Yeah, the same as...
And aren't NPOs tax exempt?
Yes.
Because they're doing community work.
Which community work is this?
Do they not have soup kitchens? Some churches, they've got such things. Programs as injalo.
Ngayibona ba erin.
Ngayibona soup kitchen.
Zingaphi baziyi-10 ba erin. Cha. Baziko 11.
I think what we can do when it comes to churches is to force the community development element upon them by law.
Yes.
Because you're tax exempt, we need to have, a check-in on the programs we're doing and the impact those programs have on the immediate community where you are settled. Yabo? Because against the Pentecostal churches, class bizone. Yeah, ezizomoya, happy clappy, on then
happy clap.
Entertainment church.
Yeah. So I'm not speaking against them per se, but I would like to say that, for instance, Mnandi Konzo Wisil.
Okay.
And the community development element, we are ibona pa. Just not so long ago about St. Stephen's. It was a pity that we couldn't get Umfunsungis. And the security program they have over Ipendla Primary School. Bene marimbas pa at some point, but I think zabiwo kanye zophulwa ngabantu. But to try and get abantwana off the streets and whatnot. So when it comes to such, because kukho a constitutional mandate endala, that requires that amakhabe amele oku noku, there must be these elements and whatnot. Teteka okungezi Orthodox churches.
Okay.
La community development element, but I struggle a lot with the Pentecostal churches. And Canada, when there's a snacks on Facebook this morning, we asked, and then there was a lady from Mtata who started a church, asked people go December 2019 1999 to take all their money and bayisebenzise because yabona uhlabathi lizophela ngo-2000. I'm not too sure what it was because mamela ndlele buqu akafiki ngokuyesu bethe uyesu uzofika nge-30 kaDisemba yafika i-30 yadlula kwafika i-31 yadlula kwayofika i-4 kaJanuary akafiki uJesus. Abantwana bayekile izikolo balandela into ezithethwe eBhayibhelini zoba umuntu ongamshiyo abazali bakhe nekhaya lakhe ancame yonke lonto for him nakwathi so bancame zonke zonto bahambile bayohlala pha bayeke isikolo bayohlala ecaweni. 8 people have died in that church, and that woman had said the only doctor is Jesus. And nobody will die. So now the people have died. She can't release them back to their families because they dead. Your prophecy did not become.
Spiritual hunger.
That we definitely have.
Our people need to be fed spiritually.
That we definitely have. Did you listen to this thing? A trend Gamaponga etetano. What's this person's name? Rorasang. Did you guys listen to that thing?
No.
I've only seen clips.
Them the one clips. Hey, it makes you think that thing.
Yeah.
Like. There's a line that Maponga says. Ati, it's a shame for us to defend this foreign. Lendo isn't foreigners like Christianity, right? And whereas Africans had never imposed themselves on Europeans, they've never imposed African culture on Europeans, and we're fighting about the way up. Yebo, kanimo fuseni bethu. Into lo umuntu okhona aka imali. Hey, ngondo yika izovela abaphula bazo balala abantu. So it's that. Ngababukeli. Kaloku Spotify.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, see, Landeba, and I'm not saying people must not be Christian, right? I'm not saying that because there's one thing I understand. We have been colonized.
Yes.
And there are certain things we have accepted from being colonized, whether forcefully so or voluntarily so, right? It is part of our heritage. We cannot deny that that's a part of our heritage now. However, to defend it so exclusively, vigorously, and say, no, the other thing is demonic. The other thing is you, essentially. You minus colonialism equals the other thing that is demonic. Feel me?
Yeah,
Hey guys, it's sad.
It's sad. But then that money, man, okay, it's fine. That money, man. No, that money could contribute, guys.
It must be enforced by legislation over NPOs that we must be able to objectively, gauge your community developmental aspect. It must be done so objectively. Not about in a soup kitchen I feed 100 people. We must say, because when you earn uyakwazi ufumana imali into your account engange 1 million ngonyaka. At least 30% of that, or whatever percentage of that, must be given back to a social development fund if when you don't have programs as lolhlobo, so that social development can implement within your community as programs. Did you get what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just making a stupid suggestion.
No, for me, it's a good one. because churches needs to be held accountable. Because next to, I think it's easier to open a church than to open a tavern.
You reckon?
Yes.
You have to get a license, Kaloku, to open a tavern. You don't need
And
a
that's the
license
other
to open a
thing.
church.
That's the other thing. It's how do you put it all together? What do you need to have in order to have a church? All together well. You understand? Because there's schools of theology in the universities. But let's talk about accredited institutions that are not opened by me and also accredited by me. But what we need to have is a way of licensing the founding of churches. So that it's not just all willy-nilly and iyafuna ngoku ifikile kwilevel yoba mayi-inspect i-activity yecawa. So that kubekho ii-inspectors ezikwaziyo ukuyivala icawa officially to say no, you cannot have people eating grass. You cannot have them donating more than 50% of their income kuwe, and they're not getting anything in return. You cannot have abantwana abaphuma esikolweni because of you. Their constitutional rights cannot be infringed by whatever laws you put in place. Do you know what I'm saying?
Because the only
Do you
Jesus.
guys know how much abazalwane fight legislation as a kubo? Because kubo, and I mean the bazalwane, not the leaders of the church. I mean the actual congregation, because bona, they're at the point where they think you are fighting against their God.
Because also now it's a matter of two books. You understand? Because there's a Bible, the Constitution, and there's a Constitution of South Africa.
So now you are getting in the way of me niggling to my God. You are telling me how much I must give money to my God. Because now I'm convinced that I should be doing this thing.
I must be giving my all.
Yeah.
And even your opposition is sometimes enough for them to be convinced
to do more.
Is true.
Yeah.
It's legit because
now we hate our Nangoku.
That the Bible said it first that it's going to happen.
Because guys hate. I mean, there must be a point where we can say there is a bit of madness now. Objectively speaking,
yes.
With us, it's fun about personal in a way, but there's a test objective.
I mean, I know, I'm not going to say where, a church where back in, I think 2016, somewhere then, I don't remember correctly. I'm not going to say unyanzelekile ne, because they don't necessarily have a bullet to your head. But it's like, kuyachiwo on a Sunday, okay, by October, sifuna ukuthengela umfundisi wethu imoto, and to make that happen, nina kupa no 500. You're not considering how much they're getting paid. They don't have cars. They have kids in school. They're taking care of extended families.
Career,
and they did. I'm taking it cheap.
I chose the wrong
People
career,
that don't have
dog.
cars. People that don't have cars bought umfundisi wabo cheap.
Nigga, I'm a wordsmith.
That's so dope.
Yes, any business and the ponder rich and the bother shy, because I think people are just giants and vultures and whatnot. The music business.
Yeah,
guys, it's terrible. The music business and the executives.
Yeah. Ufika abantu belambile neshem. Idogqiba ibasayinise izinto.
Hey, wena.
Iwe is recurring. Ikuthiwa contract is recurring.
Hey, kayini like ama cards boy contract yakhe will be automatically renewed. How do you automatically renew a contract when a renewal of a contract must first begin with us, with our
having
minds
a conversation,
meeting, us agreeing that okay, in the mtando a no be masim susongo kusi from that old contract in order to continue this one, same replacing or F. No, none of that. We're just letting you know that congratulations, your contract has been renewed.
Congratulations.
But we are pleased to let you know that your contract has been renewed.
Baruta bayokhupha la ngoma be-release ngezolo bayiduncula lapha ku-YouTube.
No, guys. Dimamela is always a PDD.
Kuthiwa contract is binding. what they don't say that a contract is the terms of the terms of the agreement. See, into sivumelwano. So if the other party ayivumi, ayikwazi uba isivumelwano.
Also, i-renewal ye-contract ifuneka isayinwe nayo. Awukwazi uthumela i-email uthi congratulations. We're pleased to let you know that your contract will,
Ibicelwe ngubani?
The renewal, we must sign on it. Guys. Into nenze ndibe alert to this thing. I listened, njengoba Jamie Foxx was in hospital.
Yes,
For me. And all these things eziphumayo ke ba hayi kaloku reveal ba P Diddy is gay. Wow. Yanintsi yabo. Ndikhomba uP Diddy. Uyambona mos uP Diddy.
Yes.
No, why you wanna keep Asanda? Umkhiphela ndono Asanda. But
Correct, yes.
Ndikhomba uP Diddy mos kumkhanga benayo la personality ngathi ruthless.
Yeah.
Shame uvele njengobhuti owanqena uthetha yabona
Like I think Jay-Z is more ruthless than uP Diddy would be.
Right?
So
now uP Diddy ulel way
P. Diddy.
ku-YouTube ndikhangele this way. Nansi ndithetha ba i-artists aka-P. Diddy there isn't like zinqabile zine-album eziyi-2. The Locks zamthuke eradweni. That's how frustrated they were. He wanted 3 million to release them. Bamthuka eradweni efona ezambalungisa kathi then what do you call the shit that you're doing?
No Mace
wabhala yakhe into ende ku-Instagram after P. Diddy eyochaza phaba i-artists ziyasokola bewayitsho kwi-Grammys ne enza ispeech
sisokolisa nguye.
Tyhini Thixo wam. Kanti nguye lo usokolisayo.
It's crazy.
Culture vulture.
Okay, xa gay ke ngoku utheni? Yintoni engxaki?
Akafuni ukuchazwa ba ugay kutshiwo.
Ufuna kuthini?
And ke ngoku nje
after 9
uchazile ba ugay.
Only after 9.
But ndinombuzo ke ngoku find newari ke ba uJamie Foxx wethu ucola kamandi ekta kamandi wenza kamandi yonke into yakhe yenzayo. Ngoke besezipatini ephethe video camera yena. Ngapha ko video camera besiza ntoni? Kule gay.
Utheni yaqala ibona ngoku yena?
I wanted to ask you ngobubalesi kuba namosi naye bengaqali bekubane siya pha uthi kweyindoni ukuzathethe.
Baxabene icacile. Khona into baxabene ngayo. Qha ke ngoku.
So yena beyobukela.
So Jamie Foxx is bitching now.
So yena beyobukela yena Jamie Foxx.
Thozi nemali ke gays.
Uthithile boy.
Gays. Ukhona lo bethe yena uyazishiya brothers ngoku yabashiya amajuda wakhe pha ku Facebook go South African person ba Vusinova is rich and gay.
Okay.
Somizi is rich and gay.
Okay.
Lasizwe is rich and gay. Amajuda ngizobona kusasa. Singihambe.
Umuntu xa gay kaloku makabe gay. It's fine. Akho ngxaki lando. But sucaba ngoku uzawufuna usnap abanye abantu uthi yenze imali.
That's my shit. But uba wena sexually fluid, fine. Ngoku kuthenda uzofaka abanye abantu.
It doesn't work for amajita being sexually fluid.
Kaloku upromoter yena uthetha ngento ba
swing either way.
Wenzela mimi ne uthetha into ekhoyo guys. It happens here in PE. There are people who decide to be sexually fluid for the sake of the monies of gay men.
Yeah.
Because uhleli pendlini nechair yakhe but akazi ungayi kula gay man for the soft life. It's not, I don't know if it's necessarily sexual fluidity or just
I really think that they're making excuses for sexual fluidity now.
I think siyabe insult sexual fluidity when actually it's just people who are prostituting themselves bayayibona igap ye business. Khaba ubana ngaba ndifumene i-gay man rich ndizawufumana imali iqale yayo into ntoyelala nomfana asikafsekda yenza
fike ndibethela mfana
bethele way
ndibuye uzobheja imali
naxesha lalo nto leyo mna and angafuni ke ngivele because uyayazi ba akakho really into it. Into that they into is the money. Ayindithi naba namantombazana in the name of sexual fluidity they allow for defecation to happen on their faces pha eDubai.
Is sexually deep with defecation, guys? And
fetishes about. You understand? We can't speak on that. This fluidity thing and prostitution and it interminglishana at some point. Eban?
Now, quick space esikuso we've moved so much as society that we got to a space where siye safuna defender all the shit that we want to do. And then we came up with so much beautiful concepts. As city classes articulators, say identifier, fluidity, and
But
all of these things. Because Uzabuza, 50 Shades of Grey. There's a lady being abused by this guy because trauma zakhe. Ube abused ngokungaphezulu kuye and thinks sex is about being having power over someone else. They do that thing. And people across the world, they said like, oh, so romantic. But babe no fika mjondolo umjitena la setup. Uzawuthwa.
I just feel like ngaske umntu
Same setup.
athethe lento, like the point you made in the beginning, ngaske umntu athethe lento afuna ukuyithetha angasnapi abanye abantu. Even if it's not sexual fluidity, just say I'm a sex worker.
Yes.
Uyeke ukuba ubani wabagay wabanje kwathini because when what you want is money. Just say I am a
think
sex
that
worker,
person
I'm a
was trying to
gigolo.
highlight
That's it.
What they were really trying to say, no, I don't think they were really saying, yeah, it's not a case of Yakim saying, okay, guys, then Shia Yanga and whatnot, like literally. Ka uzamusboni Sailando of how art commentates on what's happening. This person is trying to say, this is the trend right now. People are moving towards this lifestyle for this reason. Did you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Basically, that's what it was. It's not to snab anything. It's to say, Nshala na machita, and there was a machita and babukele because bayajonga pha oyanga ba uyakim uyambona ukubheka pha ngagqirha uyakim sibje okay kodwa besifusela uyakim okay ila way yabona la way. That's all that person was saying, not to snub being gay or anything, but saying because and it's there, so we all know it, but gay guys, for some reason, they're a community of people that are able to make money. Get connections is abo because they also, as a community, support each other and they don't let each other down. I benga komi miss yomto obe snacks gongo kukwatwa. Hi guys, says azimofi don't go gle. Engekho mhle yena enganxibanga iJewish nice nandoni. Do you get what I'm saying? So we know about the what we perceive as the lifestyle of the typical gay guys. Like there's money, life is soft, they work really hard. I think also it has to do with themselves because sometimes you need to prove yourself because or by people that don't accept you. So they work really hard. Now the trend is this. Ukabafana about data older ladies for money. Not because they love them, but because by bonaba nanzimali ukumoto apha nizawuqhubisa isiglass yalo sister ndiyocheck icherame yang ndibuye yabona lana into ezinjalo. And also on the other hand, there's young men who are dating gay guys for the same reason, who have surrendered themselves to saying ineni ifunayo imali.
Andiyakuva ne ndivumelana nawe qha ndithi ngaske athi umntu, me myself and I am a sex worker qha. And it doesn't matter who I sleep with, as long as the money.
This is why I'm saying to you,
you're not gonna get it.
That human being, Ebesenza, that particular meme, was not trying to snub gay people. Was trying to highlight a thing that is on the rise. To say men are doing this right now for this reason, and you can't say they're not doing it for that reason. You understand? It could be that it's just a Yakim who is straight, does not want to, does not even fantasize about sleeping with another man, whether it's of money or not. But we are observant. Remember, as artists, that's what we do. We speak on what's happening. So it's not necessarily that the way I phrase Ngayopa E.T. personally, but it's to say, it's to find humor in this situation and just show us about when's it go. Hence I'm saying there's no need for that person to claim being a sexual worker because that's not what they're trying to highlight. They're trying to highlight the situation where people do anything for a little bit of cash.
Yeah, Busouchilo, ngexesha besithetha pha earlier on about into yoba as a black nation it became so hard that we've lost the pride, we've lost dignity. We can do anything, we can live anywhere. Nanjani na, only if sizaba compensated.
According to defecation. Ngibona zonke ezenzekayo life.
Hi guys, huh?
Because I
Zininzi
learned
ezi-
identification.
Respect mntanam ndonqena uyibiza ngenye indlela. It's
Anything
the
else?
most decent way I can put it.
Feces.
Wanna do a thesis on feces?
Younger cruiser.
Must go to Dubai for that, right?
Guys.
Look, man, before we close, I saw something very interesting about, there's a guy called Victor Wills from a band called The Village People. So these guys are being exploited by Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump loves the music. So whenever he goes on stage, he makes sure that their song iyadlala. And ke ngoku uyabona uba bona bayithanda le nto. So he even gets abantu that are going to dress up ingathi they part of this
The
group.
Village People.
Yeah. So then bambhalele inantsika ileta uba bayithandi le into. So my interest was, sorry, eSouth Africa mos kuthiwa into le nto ii-artist azihoywanga kakhulu, and then ii-rallies bakhona and there's music playing. Ungayivumela loo nto that your music is used for a campaign?
If I'm getting paid,
Okay.
my music can be used if I'm getting compensation, but I wouldn't go and perform at a rally, like a campaign rally, like how other people do, where they're gonna get dressed up, regalia political party by your performer. I wouldn't do that. But if I have a song out there, and whatnot, and a party feels like, oh, this song fits perfectly, can they just, do the right thing?
Na ANC asozindina ndiyeke idlala ingoma zam.
It's meant most to. And guys, now my thing is, aren't this song in the public domain? Again, if you've released your song, and you've released it, as long as you're not getting people to perform my song, because I'm kuyamna, you understand? But in terms of them using the song, President-elect, you understand? I can't do anything about that. But
I'll ask them to take it down.
nakwe concerts nakwindoni anyway, xa kudlalwa ingoma, and we suppose aba bantu organizer bafilishe form to make sure that you get paid for the use of that song. Yeah, I wouldn't because it's out of my control as well. You understand? The playing of a song.
Okay.
But the performance of the song, the pila, I wouldn't permit that. I remember, La Mama, at last.
Etta James.
She was still alive when Beyonce sang At Last, inauguration dinner ka Obama. And she was not happy about that. She was absolutely unhappy.
Why
about
was
that.
Beyonce singing the song?
Because that's who was booked and that's who had popularized the song. But she was very unhappy about it because she's still alive.
I'm unhappy about it.
Do you know what I mean? Just get me to sing my song, yo.
I'm unhappy about it. Especially because, I understand she did the movie and the whatever, but she was depicting her life.
Exactly.
Now, how are you assuming my life as part of your character? I don't know.
So
That song was already popular.
It was. I knew that song before that movie.
it was popularized because of the movie where Beyonce was singing it. So, bona abantu, the organizing committee of the inaugural situation, they booked the person they saw singing the song. You feel me?
No, so I think babeyazi bayiculwa ngubani.
Bayayazi beculwa ngubani.
I-appeal mhlawumbe.
Yes.
Kuba the whole
Then they must
sorry.
ask her to sing her own songs.
So she, babefuna at last mntanam.
Sure.
Blunder was into bananga, Etta James was still alive, and Etta James spoke out and said, "No, I'm here." So for that, in Denjalo, I would not give performance permission to somebody else to go and perform my work. I wouldn't.
Yeah, because also each party has the principles.
Yeah.
So you can't have an extremist, white people or whatever, because they're a woman, now they're playing Pitology's beats, closer to Inansigi community or music that is produced by It's exploiter Lando. I know, but Trump kudala
But then covering a song, anyone can cover someone else's song. It happens with most performances all over the world.
It's difficult to manage that thing.
the cover.
Because it's just covering a song, basically. That's what Beyonce did.
It's just a difficult space to navigate, I feel. It's a really difficult space to navigate. Now, as I say, I would not appear on behalf of any party to perform in a campaign rally or anything like that. But unfortunately, I think reasonably speaking, it is hard to control who has your album. Iko YouTube ingoma yakho. You understand? Say now you are not in favor of Unjengele. But Unjengele loves your song, plays it, understands its meaning. But hey, now we are came ufuna ukukhulula abantu abamnyama. That's exactly what I want to do. Then xa ndingena kula rally yasemthatha ndifuna ungena kudlale le ngoma. Who are you to be able to control that?
It's a difficult space to navigate where, you know, i-atmos ireflecta mhlambi ixesha elininzi what's happening in society, and then kubekho i-artists that are aligned with i-politics. Umzekelo phaa kunduna ngexesha kucelebrate, that thing was nice, it was beautiful. And then also there was a ANC van.
Bengasoze ngabikho kaloku bhuti. Bengasoze ngabikho.
Oh, Prof said declaration.
Yes, and he has campaigned with the ANC before.
Okay.
You know, that's exactly what I would not do.
Okay.
You know, when artists, they come out, bonke banxibe red jackets, red berets, and they're making a declaration, bakhwele izithuthwini, bahle bacutie, they're standing in, you know, whatever solidarity with the EFF as an example that I'm making. I would not do that, even if I was in favor of the particular party, because you don't want to limit the freedom of your voice.
Yes.
And once you do that, you might find that it has limitations on how far your voice can reach, how far you can criticize, and it's not only about the election time, but post that. Now that mhlambi kukho concert Ganduna bethusile ezawuvele stop in the middle of his performance because loadshedding happened and the generators are out of diesel or whatever the case may be, who is he going to cry to?
Akakwazi uxeka aba bantu
Akakwazi
behamba
uxeka.
nabo.
Yabo? Uzasithi hayi ke yi-loadshedding guys, but akakwazi uyithetha the political implications or the political causes of this thing. You understand? Akakwazi ufana nathi sithethe and whatnot because aligned already. Uyayibona laa nto. Benimamele ngoku there was a book launch. This guy Bizizi.
Ubani?
He's a guy with he had a book launch and it was live on Facebook, sounds like Daily Dispatch. And obviously kwabantu baphezulu and whatnot. And he spoke while he was introducing guests, like mentioned something about abantu bayathanda ukuthi ANC corrupt. Ayo ANC corrupt. Kabantu aba bavume ukonyulwa kwi-ANC aba corrupt. Like,
What are you saying?
What are you saying? Kabantu abavume ukonyulwa to the ANC leadership aba corrupt. What makes up the ANC? Kuthena abantu besenza. Yes, sometimes you listen to a person who is really intelligent and you feel so stupid. Like, Tim, and understand the terms and concepts. Can the ANC yenze kanjani? Without the people, what is the ANC then? But and that's because of alignment. Do you know what I mean? That as an intellectual person, the sink is shipping. The ship is sinking. You don't want to admit to it. You don't want to admit to the failures that come with this thing. And it could be easier to just admit, say, I don't know.
Guys.
Sometimes I do admire the people that just jump ship and say, I no longer can identify with what you guys are doing, rather than to stick there, because the moment you share power for longer than is necessary and things are falling apart, Tina, we see nothing but you.
Yeah, you become part of the problem.
You're part of it. You're part of the problem.
Because they are our one balap.
Yeah, because I don't know. I used to love Melusi Gigaba, but your problem.
Yeah.
Well, Gibbs.
Do you know what I mean? He's a big part of the problem. Mbalula is a big part of the problem.
Abazohamba kaloku.
comfortable with the suffering of the people. For me, that's what it says, that you are comfortable with the suffering abantu because you're not changing it.
Yeah, man. I think we gotta wrap it up. Any last thing?
I deny your word.
Sure, man. No, no here. Bapanse bafumani Fate ka Princess Diane. I just love that couple.
Guys,
personally.
nithi lento iplanwanga andibathandi.
Bapanse
What
bafumana
happened?
yesterday. They were coming from a thingy in New York. They were attending a Women of Vision Awards.
Oh my.
On their way back, they were followed by paparazzi. They nearly crashed and then
Don't be too Harry.
Basanditiki
Basanditiki paparazzi. Can't they leave them alone? He inherited more than William.
Yeah.
Because William is going to be king anyway.
Isn't he? Oh yeah, that's where he's going.
Eventually. So the Queen left the majority of her monies to Harry. I love the Queen for that.
Yeah.
I'm a Harry fan, by the way. Such bad.
I know, I love Harry.
Imali.
William.
Yeah.
Really? She seemed as though she didn't like Harry at all.
No, bebemvalele
that's not the
besemdala
case.
kaloku so bebemvalele bamangamboni uHarry. Yabo Harry athi xa ethe uzawudibana naye athi mina bendingayazi baneschedule benzazi ndi free. Ukufona abanye abantu ba busy asiwe kwindawo ezingabalekanga.
Oh man, shame. That's nice.
Thank you very much. So see you in the next episode. Thank
Peace,
you.
y'all.
That's a wrap.
Yeah. It took a while.